Diamond P Sports presents from the National Hot Rod Association Championship Drag Racing, the Silver Anniversary Winter Nationals. Speeds in excess of 260 miles an hour, covering the quarter mile in less than 6 seconds. Drag racing from the NHRA.
The Gear Jammers Truck Series came to the Talladega Superspeedway for race number 7 of the season. As the series started to wind down, could anyone stop Shawn Hughes' reign of terror? And if you wanted lead changes, you came to the right place, as this track was known for some incredible racing. You would beat Shawn Hughes on the pole, with James Williams, Jordan Malish, John Huntington, and John Hughes the top 5. As the field of 20 trucks rolled for 94 laps on this famous superspeedway, and it would take a few laps, but the action would start to get hot and heavy. As on lap number 7, John Hughes would come out of turn 4, slide up to the high side right in front of James Williams, and he would use Williams' help to go to the outside of Shawn Hughes, and he would take over the lead for the first time and become the first lead change of the race. And while he took the lead, behind him in turn 1, there would be a crash with 2 trucks. That would be series newcomer David Lambert, as he would get hooked by the 05 of J.W. McCauley. Lambert would go spinning into the wall head on and do a few series of flips. He would be okay, but it was a tough debut for David Lambert in the 21 machine. Fast forwarding to lap number 13 on the restart, would be Jordan Malish leading Mikhail Rasmussen on the restart. He would get a huge jump on Shawn Hughes and Rasmussen, and his lead would not last, as a lap later, Hughes would get help from the 19 of Brett Buncari, as the field was 2x2 and free wide behind them. He would use Buncari's help on the high side of the track, and he would take over the lead once again for just the second time here at Talladega. Hughes' lead would actually last about 10 laps or so until lap 24, as the 55 of Superman Richard Schwint would get help from the 94 of Jordan Malish, and he would take over the lead for the very first time, and he and Shawn Hughes would exchange a 2x2 battle up for the front for a few laps. Then on lap number 31, it would be Brett Buncari started trying to go for the lead. He would go right in front of Shawn Hughes, and he would use Hughes' drafting help to get by the 55 of Richard Schwint, and Buncari would take the lead for the first time today. And he would actually hold on to that lead until lap number 37, as the second caution of the day would come out. This one would be for the caution clock, the first of 2 caution clocks of the race. After pit stops and a few laps at the restart, lap 45, it was time for a little bit of international flavor, as Mikhail Rasmussen would take the lead using help from Jordan Malish, and he would lead for the first time in the race. And that lead would last to lap number 51. It'd be Jordan Malish's turn to get the lead once again, this time with help from John Hughes. He would slide in front of the 22 in turn 1, just barely, but he would get the lead back once again. And then it would then be John Hughes' turn to go for the lead, as on lap number 53, he would get help from the 12 of James Williams, and he would slide in front of the 94 as the field entered turn 3. But as they were coming to the start-finish line, that lead would not last. James Williams would go to the outside with help from Shawn Hughes, and he would actually lead lap 53. Then lap 56, things got wild. Mikhail Rasmussen on the inside of John Hughes, Nicholas Londe Church up high. They would squeeze into one another. Londe Church goes sliding up and hits the wall. Rasmussen would spin off at turn number 2 and would crash hard in the inside wall. The race would be over for the man they call Boom Boom, but no yellow would come out. Then on that same lap, Andy Moore, who was running up in the top 5, avoiding all that chaos, would get squirrely in the tri-oval, slide down. He would save the car, but no yellow would come out from this, and he lost the late draft as well. And all that chaos did was break up the main pack as the field was down to basically 4 cars. That being Malish, Pancari, Dews, and Shawn Hughes. And those 4 drivers were exchanging the lead for a little bit. And then the yellow would come up lap number 66 for the second caution clock of the race. After the restart on lap 72, the fight was on once again. This time on Shawn Hughes to get the outside of Jordan Malish again with help from Pancari. And he would take the lead right back once again. And that's when things would start to go downhill for the 94 machine of Malish. He would get squirrely in the tri-oval, will lose the back end, slide through the grass, overcorrects, would take out the cone on the end of pit road, slide out in front of the field, and just gets into Nicholas Church. He would spin out, but he was on the inside of the track, so no yellow would come out. Fast forward to lap number 81, a new player would play his hand into the lead mix. Jonathan Shipman would go to the outside of Shawn Hughes with help of James Williams, and he would take the lead for the first time in the race. He would actually hold on to that lead for about 8 laps until lap number 89's laps wind down. He would try to block Richard Schwinn and James Williams, but that failed horribly. He was to get slid out to the outside. Shawn Hughes would take the lead back once again with help from the 19 of Pancari. As the laps began to wind down further and further, we go on to lap number 93. Richard Schwinn to the outside of Shawn Hughes would take the lead, but left the door open for Jonathan Shipman. He would slide to the inside. Richard Schwinn could not do anything about it, and Shipman would take the lead with just 2 laps to go as the field was down to 5 trucks. And then we fast forwarding out to the final lap at the exit of turn 4. Shawn Hughes would get help from Pancari with a big run down the front straightaway. He would get the Shipman, but then 2 touched, and they collide to start finish line, but Jonathan Shipman would hold on and take his second win of the Gear Jammers Truck Series season. Final results, Jonathan Shipman would take the win. Shawn Hughes was second. Richard Schwinn was third. Brett Pancari was fourth. James Williams was fifth. Joe Pedrick, John Dews, Andy Moore, Jimmy Christensen, and John Huntington round the top 10. In the point standing with 0 drop races, counting Huntington continues to lead by 10 over Pancari, 29 to Pedrick. Then it was Hughes, Malish, Nicholas Lonnie Church, Brent Rogers, Andy Moore, James Williams, and Jimmy Christensen round the top 10 as the series headed to Martinsville for race number 8.